Hello and welcome to the channel for those who are stopping by for the first time, and welcome back to all the friends of the capital. Please make sure that you have clicked the subscribe button to support this channel. Now guys, let's get into it. We are talking the aftermath of Donald Trump's announcement of South Africa. We are talking about that, be it tweets, be it interviews, and let's look at the trends that came out of that. We saw Ndlozi trending, we saw Gareth Cliff trending, white South Africans trending, we saw misinformation trending. We're gonna take a look at all of this together with the analysis that came out of it. Please give this video a thumbs up as we take a look at the direction this has pushed South Africa.
The question was, how much did you buy this land? And before we get into that, I'd like to show you a few features of this land, of this farm. First, you see a small avocado harvest, and then you see some mango trees on the farm, and then here are some avocado trees that we tried to clear, and then here we've got the king and the queen. Someone might ask, why is this man kissing the ground? Man, I tell you the truth, land will give you honor, it will give you dignity, and will give you a sense of freedom. So I believe that men and women who own land, no matter how small or big, they are like kings and queens. That's why I kiss the ground, man. Okay, here's the part you were waiting for. How much did this 25 hectare with a few hectares of mangoes, few hectares of avos, and just above a hectare of dead banana trees cost us? This land in total, or the purchase price was 1,150,000 rands, and then we paid about 33,000 for transfer costs to the lawyers. So all in all, it cost us 1.183 million. Yeah, some of you were not too far for this. Of course, we're young, and of course we don't have that kind of money, but that information will be revealed in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
We need Donald Trump, the president of America, to come and save South Africa. Let's protect our food security. Let's protect our farmers and farm workers, including stock theft.
What is happening right now in South Africa is that it is being pressed from every side. It is under pressure from locally, internally in South Africa, and even internationally in Africa and the rest of the world. There are decisions that South Africa needs to make. So this upcoming SONA, that is the State of the Nation address that is taking place on the 6th of February in Cape Town, is going to be so important as to how South Africa is planning to move forward for the rest of this year. Please, let's now go ahead to look at all the different categories that started trending after Trump's big announcement, putting South Africa's name in his mouth. All right, so first one, let's talk about this light one, which is Ndlozi. Ndlozi started trending because what? Not Ndlozi flip-flopping. He went and said, no, we have been misled about Cyril Ramaphosa. Ndlozi, and the EFF was not happy, saying that the CIC was right to distance itself from the likes of Ndlozi, and the MKP at this moment will not be recruiting him unless they will just do it just to stick it to the EFF. But in general, the rest of the commentary was just disappointing, to say the least. It was so heartbreaking to hear white South Africans say such lies about South Africa, to hear them make themselves victims in South Africa. Haibo guys, it was just a show and a display of people who are ungrateful, of a people who show no remorse. Not all of them, of course. There were some that showed a lot of solidarity with South Africa as a whole, and also considering the injustices of the past. I'll read just one of them that stood out for us, and this is what she said. This is Kim Heller. She's always vocal there, but you know, Twitter, it could be a he, it could be a she. We've seen Chris Excel, we've seen other profiles there that are not what they say they are. But this lady says, no white lie. White people in South Africa are the most ungrateful people in the planet. Not only did we, and then put in brackets, our forefathers steal land and racially oppress black South Africans, but we never asked for forgiveness for apartheid crimes against humanity. Full stop. But on that part of never asking for forgiveness, let me just say there was the Truth and Reconciliation that allowed for that asking for forgiveness process. So I'm on the fence on that one. What are your thoughts on that element of not asking for forgiveness? And then she continues highlighting exactly the situation that is happening. And obviously there were other comments, I'll put them here on screen, that were just showing signs of reason. I did love what Penuel then went up and put, where he was asking, okay, white South Africans, come here, please, come to the front of the class. Tell us, what is it that you want? How can we, what do you expect? What should happen to redress the past or address it? And then they were saying nothing. Basically, most of them were saying, BEE, affirmative action, They were saying that do nothing. Allow us to bask in the spoils of apartheid. Allow us to continue to be white supremacists and blacks never, ever being able to catch up. But that was the story. Here is the response here. But there is one that actually stood out for me. I loved his response. He went down and started putting, a good plan of how this could be handled better. I loved it, because for me, I feel like as much as we do want restitution for, injustices of the past, but there should be an end goal. There should be a year that we say this enough is enough. But obviously, if this current white generation does not start that process, even in 100 years, this conversation will still be continuing. So the faster this current generation acts on this, because actually Mandela and his generation should have done this process immediately after 1994 and followed it through. I know they did start with land claims and it led to a lot of civil war, but they should have continued that process so that it is done with, or had a process to ensure that there is no backlog at that land claim. So this cannot continue to linger on top of people's heads. And also, they should have given all of the people that are getting RDP houses, give them their, give them their title deeds. Then land is transferred. Like, you bought that land, give them their title deeds, right? Or if it's some sort of lease agreement, give them something. All right. And then also for the rest of the South Africans, make sure that every company that is in a position to do so, they provide housing for their citizens. They don't necessarily have to buy a stand and build new houses. If they can, they should, but they should press down on that housing subsidy for companies and give them tax rebates because they have housing subsidies for those that are working. So that will solve the problem for the middle class not having houses. And obviously the numbers are growing. Like, is the government also not willing to see this process through? And then in the rural lands where most of South Africans are residing, in the homesteads, give deeds, title deeds also there. People have their own homesteads there, but they don't have any title deeds. That land that is in that Ingonyama trust, even if it's in a trust, it should still have a deed. Just like when you are in a sectional title, you can still get a title deed in a sectional title. So why can't even people in a Ingonyama trust get title deeds? So those lands should be registered. That's my view. But let me know, guys, how can this be solved so that we don't have this discussion again in 10 years with our children who have no idea what happened in apartheid by that time, and they will be subjected to this ongoing back and forth between the citizens of South Africa of different races. Let's talk about it, guys, down below. This upcoming SONA will be one to watch out for.
I'm in the process of sponsoring a family that is fleeing South Africa due to the white genocide. I am not going to let a white group of people suffer and not help them because I've been bullied into not giving a shit. That ain't me. Wrong dude. Don't care. These people want to be Americans. They don't want to be South Africans anymore because that country was given over the minute that fucking cocksucking communist Mandela was let out of prison. They're going to live in my house and I'm going to fucking feed them and take care of them.
Suffice to say that I got involved in the abuse of the minority white race in South Africa a couple of years ago. Got heavily involved. Ultimately ended up sponsoring a family of 4 and helped facilitate them from Africa. And obviously, it turned out bad. They did play me, and they admit. In fact, that was one of the things they said was they're bragging about how they played me like a sport game. I spent over $30,000 in that 11 months in money and fed and clothed them. So I might be stupid enough to have fallen for that because I thought with my heart instead of my head. You know what? They cost me a lot of money when they were here, suck and parasite and use people, and then when they're done, they just fucking, go on to the next fucking victim. When they talk to me, it's like, hey, we're a good family, we own a business, and we're hardworking people, and, when we get to America, the way we'll pay the rent will be, we'll work for you guys, all right? If anything, we had to work 10 times as hard just to fucking take care of these people. I mean, in 11 months, I got my grass cut 3 times. One time ended up being in a huge argument. Everything fucking free. Lay around, watch TV, and watch fucking movies for 11 months, and fucking chain smoke cigarettes and don't do a god.
Now you can see that our people, these white South Africans, are really difficult to work with. There's a comment from New Zealanders that are saying these racists that move from South Africa to other countries are not good to be around. So it just shows that here in South Africa we have been tolerating a lot, and this just uncovered a lot of other side of white South Africans, like your Gareth Cliffs. He is going off right now on social media. In fact, all of his black friends should be embarrassed right now. Let me know what your thoughts are. Is there any hope for any social cohesion, and can this be resolved in any way? Let me know what your sentiments are down below. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video.